All right, Khan, Shalom, Shalom, Israel, Shalom to the 12 tribes of Yasha Allah, giving the chorus, all honor, glory, and praise unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of some began, son Yahweh Shah, this is brother Yasha Allah, coming back to y'all yet another video to the spirit by Yahweh Bashem, Amashiach Yahweh Shah. All right, Shalom, Shalom, okay? Now, I'm gonna get straight into this. So this is basically going into Labor Day, man. You know, it's going into Labor Day. Because we know that it's currently Labor Day weekend for all over the United States, and so we're about to just touch on Labor Day a little bit, talk about what it is, and then we're going to go into the precepts. Okay, we're going to go into the precepts because we know clearly, evidently, that Labor Day is not a celebration that's seen in the Bible. Okay, the true laborers that should be praised are the ones that are laboring for God, the ones that are laboring for the Most High God, for Yahweh Bash and Yahweh Shah. For one, these are the true laborers. And let me just say this. Any holiday that America celebrates, you wouldn't even be able to celebrate such holidays if it wasn't for the slaves. Okay, we're just going to put that out there. America would not be here if it wasn't for the so-called white man putting the so-called blacks and Hispanics and Native Americans into slavery and building the nation that we have now. If it wasn't for our intellect through the Spirit, if it wasn't for our style and for our blessings that we brought to this nation, okay, forcefully, of course, it wasn't willingly, but nevertheless, going back to that precept in Genesis, Laban didn't want Jacob to leave because, hey, he said, look, every time you're with me, I'm blessed. You're bringing blessings to me because you're the chosen of the Most High. Why would I want to let you go? In Jeremiah chapter 50, right? Let's go to Jeremiah 50 and verse 33. It says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, meaning they're in slavery, captivity together. And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. So all these nations, especially America, are holding us fast. Ever since they got hold on the so-called blacks, the Judites, the Benjamites, the Levites in the west coast shores of Africa, and brought us to this other side of the world, to the Americas. Hey, guess what? Esau did not want us to let us go. They did not want to let us go, and they still haven't let us go. So we see here, yeah. It wouldn't be a Labor Day if it wasn't for the true laborers that were in the field, sundown to sundown, right? Sun up to sundown every day, picking cotton, picking the produce, building the streets, building everything. If it wasn't for the war, the bloodshed that the so-called white man has done, the genocide that they has taken part of against the Native Americans and taking their land. If it wasn't for the Louisiana Purchase, if it wasn't for the French, if it wasn't for the British, if it wasn't for the Spanish, if it wasn't for the Dutch, the Irish. So if it wasn't for all these nations conspiring against the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and the Israelites, there wouldn't be a Labor Day, man. All right? There would not be a Labor Day to even celebrate. There would not be a nation, to even celebrate. But nevertheless, let's go to who the true worshipers are. Let's go to the book of Philippians, chapter 4, and verse number 2. I beseech Udius and beseech Synthony, that they be of the same mind and allured. And I entreat thee also, true yoke fellow, help those women which labor with me in the gospel. So guess what? Women in the truth can labor too. They're not just sitting around in the truth. Shouldn't just be sitting around, just waiting for something to happen. Women in the truth, they can labor. They can labor in prayers. They can labor in tending to the saints. Paul talks about if she have washed the saints' feet. So these are mighty acts that the women of the truth can labor in. She can labor and tend into her household, and she married, tending to her husband, and to like I said, her household, looking well to her household. Read Proverbs chapter 31. That's how a woman can labor in this truth. It says, with Clement also, and with other my fellow laborers, whose names are in the book of life. So Paul has hope and understands that the people that he's working with, or the people that he's laboring with, their names are in the book of life. Metaphorically saying that, guess what? The Most High is going to save them. That Yahweh Shah is going to save them in the last days. Their name is written in the book of life. The Lord is dealing with them. The Lord is dealing with the people I'm laboring with. That's what Paul, he had great faith in that. He believed that wholeheartedly. So that's why he says that. But nevertheless, the point is, he said, with other my fellow laborers. And he's not talking about the 9 to 5 guy that clocks in at 9 a.m. and clocks out at 5 p.m. every day, every Monday through Friday. And he might talking about the Edomite that works these certain jobs. And that on Saturday, he kind of catches a cold one, or he kind of goes to the baseball game on Saturday to watch his favorite baseball team. The Lord, it's like Paul, he's not talking about that. His fellow laborers are talking about those that are in this truth. All right? Those that are in this truth. That's who he's talking about. Those are the laborers of the Most High that are, essentially important. They're the true important ones, because they're actually working towards a goal which not a lot of people work towards. Let's go to the book of Revelation chapter 1. Right? Let's go to Revelation 1 and verse number 9. I, John, who also am your brother and companion in tribulation. Because guess what? If you're a laborer of the Most High, you're going to be going through tribulation. We know John labored abundantly for the Lord. We know that Paul labored abundantly. Let's go to the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 9. Right? For I am the least of the apostles, that I am not meet to be called an apostle, because I persecuted the church of God. But by the grace of God I am what I am, and his grace which was bestowed upon me was not in vain, but I labored more abundantly than they all. Yet not I, but the grace of God which was with me. So Paul, he's saying, look, by the grace of the Most High, I labored more abundantly than they all. So Paul was laboring way more abundantly than certain other individuals. And we know that's true. We know that Paul, he was laboring day and night. All right, let's read 2 Corinthians real quick. 2 Corinthians 11 and verse number 23. Are they ministers of Christ? I speak as a fool. I am more, and labors more abundant. So again, he's literally saying the truth. He's not trying to brag. He's literally just saying the truth. If he said, look, hey, I labor more abundantly than they all, guess what? That's what he does. He's laboring more abundantly than they all. It says, and labors more abundant, and stripes above measure, and prisons more frequent, and deaths oft. So Paul was going here to and fro. You understand? To and fro, and just laboring abundantly for the Most High God and Yahweh Shah. Of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one. Thrice was I beaten with rods. Once was I stoned. Thrice I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep. So you could just see the type of labor that he was going through. And I don't know the typical laborer in the U.S. that's going through all this. All right. Paul, his occupation, his vocation is way more important than a lot of other people's, man. It's way heavier. Okay, his position, his occupation was way heavier than a lot of individuals that's out here. Okay, it says, Because I mean, a lot of individuals, their job is important to the furthering of society, to the furthering of this wicked kingdom. That's why it's seen as important. You need truck drivers. You need people that work in these certain corporations, business corporations. You need people that pick up the phones. You need people on customer service. You need people that fix cars. Yeah, these are people that, they're working these jobs in order to really, get paid. But in doing so, they are furthering this society. They are furthering this nation. And they may not want to, but I mean that the jobs that we do, it's really, if you look at it, it's furthering this society, it's furthering this world to keep going. To make sure it's keep going, because if all the truckers quit, if all the people in the corporation businesses quit, if all the receptionists quit, if everybody just quits their job at a moment's instance, guess what? This nation will cease to exist. I should put it like that. It would not go forward, because there's nobody in the store. I mean, working in the stores. There's nobody working anywhere. There's no police. It'd just be anarchy. So when you really look at it, the people that are working, those of us that are working in these jobs in the U.S., just to survive. We may not be doing it to want to further Esau's kingdom. I know there's certain brothers in construction. That's their job. I mean, they're literally building up Esau's kingdom, and we know the prophecies that the Lord is going to throw it down anyway. We're just doing it to get the paycheck, man. At the end of the day, but at the same time, these jobs are not as heavier or as weightier than the job that we have in this truth, this occupation, this labor that we're doing is far more important, because we're trying to usher in the kingdom of Yahweh Shah. We're actually trying to build up our people, okay, that is in a very, very low state right now, spiritually, mentally, physically, and economically. I mean, in every different way. It says, thrice was I beaten with rods, once was I stoned, thrice I suffered shipwreck, a night and a day I have been in the deep. Okay, and you can keep reading on that. But nevertheless, this is just certain precepts I wanted to get out, because again, this labor is important. It's not, the Labor Day really should be for the saints, man. That's laboring. Day by day, videos, live streams, and even the things that you don't see on camera. Because these individuals that's doing this, guess what? They have occupations in the world too. So they literally got to juggle, right? They literally got to juggle all these things. You see, people that go to work on a 9 to 5, that's all they got to worry about. But the brothers that have the 9 to 5, or even the damn 1-to-1, the 12-hour shift, brothers working the 12-hour shift, that still give time to the Most High God to labor for the Most High God. So it's damn near like working 2 jobs. And this one job you can never quit, man. And we don't want to quit it, Lord willing, right? But let's get this real quick in Matthew 9. Let's go to Matthew 9 and verse number 37. Then saith he unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. The laborers is not talking about, oh man, we're running out of truck drivers. Guess what? Yeah, they're laborers on a physical level, on a certain level, yeah. But these laborers that Yahweh Shah is talking about, is talking about laborers in the vineyard, in the spiritual vineyard. The laborers in the spiritual sheepcote, or the sheepfold. We need more shepherds in this thing on a spiritual level. Okay? We need people in this. We need more people. We need more men in this truth. That's what that's talking about. Pray therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. That's one of the prayers that we could be sending up to the Lord. Because there's not a lot of laborers out here like it should be. I should want to see Israelites on every corner, man. Every corner bringing out the word. But guess what? It's just, that's why we need to pray, and that we need to keep going out here to make more laborers of the Most High, to hire more laborers into this vineyard, into this work that we're doing. So with that, all praise to Yahweh, Lord willing, this video is edifying through the Spirit. Kwame Yashala, Shalom.